So I guess this happened. It's being reported this morning, and it happened late last night, perhaps, or I'm not sure at what time Eastern time. But a U.S. destroyer in the Strait of Malacca, which is, I guess, somewhere in the South China Sea, somewhere in those environs. And they were, this destroyer was on its way to Singapore. It was 5:24 a.m. local time there, so it was still dark, and it ran into a merchant marine vessel, and at least 5 Navy sailors are missing, or I should say injured, and 10 are missing. It is the USS John S. McCain guided missile destroyer. I believe that was John McCain's dad, who was an admiral in the Navy. And it was an oil tanker that about 3 times the size of that destroyer. So a rather big ship. Don't understand how stuff like this happens. There's been other incidents like this not too long ago that apparently it's just simply poor seamanship. But one would imagine there would be some type of like, I don't know. I got to talk to Larry, our buddy Larry Murphy, about this. But one would imagine there'd be some form of sonar, radar that would say like, hey, boat 20 feet away. Or, and, you know, these ships are so large, there's probably a significant distance you need before you avoid something like this. But nevertheless, you would imagine that there would be instruments that would measure that distance plus a little bit. But meanwhile, Donald Trump was reached. Apparently he was, I don't know, coming out of a helicopter. I'm not sure. This must have been first thing this morning or maybe last night. And this is how he responded.
Returned to the White House last night.
That's too bad. That's too bad. So there he is. They are claiming now over at Breitbart that he was not informed at the time that that happened. And that it's actually a function of McMaster, who had not informed him. So you see where this is going, right, folks? This is just a slight preview of today's program because this is going to be the dynamic. Now, from that tape, I think it's pretty clear he knows what they're talking about. I mean, some reporter is yelling at him over the din of a helicopter about the John S. McCain. He doesn't look surprised or, what are you talking about? He looks like he's been briefed. It's just that nobody sat there and said, oh, incidentally, make sure that you pretend like you're a human being who's in charge of something like this. And so you might want to come up with something to the effect of, we're doing our best to rescue these soldiers, these Navy personnel. Folks like this put themselves in harm's way. Some type of platitude or maybe even something sincere about these people.
Don't stretch it.
Yeah, I mean, just saying like something that he could actually just regurgitate because he clearly knew. It didn't come to as a surprise. I'm like, what? No.
3 quick fucking points about that, if I may.
Well, wait a second. So the point being, though, this is just a preview of what's going to be going on from the Breitbart people. And we're going to talk more about this today because Steve Bannon obviously out and try and get a sense of what that means for us and for the political situation. And as of now, it's just going to be a platform to get rid of McMaster. It's really basically a like a cage match, McMaster and Gorka. And you've got the people on the Breitbart on the outside rattling the cage. And that's basically what it's going to be.
May I, Samantha?
Yes, so please.
3 quick points. 1, I have taken over as the Africa editor of Breitbart, so more info from me. Number 2, I can report to you exclusively that McMaster's real birth name is Goldbergowitz. We will be following up on that extensively.
Right, I see.
Globe emoji, globe emoji, globe emoji. And our third point, Samantha, I would like to add that there was nothing wrong with what the president fucking said, and that what happened to the McCain was a real bummer. In the sense that it is hurting us all very deeply. Globe emoji, globe emoji, globe emoji.
I can just going to imagine like people who turn into the show for the first time, like, oh, that was a sort of critical story of Donald Trump. Who's that guy who sounds like Nelson Mandela?
Well, on the other show, we're going to do a series of sort of origin stories about these characters, which maybe could help.
Well, we'll
contextualize
put
it.
links.
Yeah, exactly. Globe emoji, globe emoji, globe emoji.
Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos